Hello, my name is Jess Watson and this is my professional practice reflection vlog. My aims and three very ambitious smart goals for this time around. So my first one was to secure at least one more work contract. I ideally wanted to book up my summer freelance work. It would just take so much pressure off me, and I love to travel in summer and I love to have opportunities that allow me to venture out during summer. So this was really crucial to me to get something that found that balance in between. My second one was to obtain my UK full driver's licence, which was a mission and a half, but we got there in the end, and that was all done by the 30th of June. So that was done by April, end of March, which is great. And the third one, instead of being too captivated and focused on the end goal so much, which I have been for so many years now, I wanted to enjoy the journey a little bit and start to utilise the contacts I had already and the skills I'd learnt already, and that was very core in where I went in direction ahead. So my strategy overall was just network. Salford is brilliant for this. There's opportunities everywhere. You have industry professionals coming out of your ears, so there was no excuse to not get in touch with people and ask for advice and follow up with emails constantly, which is what I did. My other, prominent strategy was to stay relevant. I was constantly in touch with old colleagues, old bosses, arranging coffee meets, posting on LinkedIn. I got an RTS membership, started going to networking events there, posting that on my LinkedIn to just make sure that I'm still in industry, like, hi, I'm here, I'm ready for work when you are, and just keeping up to date with what other people were doing in productions that they were getting on, and just being there, and then I had alerts on for companies that I liked, and productions that were coming into commission, and also that would be hiring soon, and use the downtime to kind of upskill and upgrade my qualifications. Specific strategy wise, so the first one, I obviously wanted a contract abroad or some kind of travel aspect, so I started looking at opportunities and workshops that are about. Same with events kind of led onto a lot of jobs for me. That's what I've learned, so like networking events, and even working an event for a couple of days, you tend to find people that chase the freelance work just as much as you want to, and then you kind of build a good little network and connection. My second one for driving was just resilience and patience. I failed twice before I passed on the third time, and it was hard. You have to have a very strong mindset, to keep going. It was lucky that my granddad was an old driving instructor, so he definitely got me through and passed. And saving. And my last smart goal was to save up for a car over Christmas and graft as much as I could at my old job, and I did that, and it definitely paid off. My third one was obviously to have that balance. I have a huge habit of sacrificing everything for work. I have done for years, and it's ruined me. To be fair, I end up going on these amazing contracts and coming home, and then I've got no base and nothing to get stuck back into, and it often feels like I've started from scratch again, and I hate that feeling. So I wanted to have something secure, almost like two different lives, where I could jump into my freelance work but still have a base back home, to take the worry off of freelance, really. And that was all successful, spoiler alert. I managed to get a little contract out in Ireland, and went to a few networking events out there. I got to shadow on Radio 1 Dance at BBC Ulster, which was fabulous. It's a long story. If you want to hear it, I can tell you, but we don't have time at all. You can see the lovely little pass certificate over there. I am now whipping around in my little Vauxhall Corsa, which is opening up so many more running roles and future working locations, especially since the Staffordshire office has just opened down over here, and I am working well with a balance, and I am prioritising going to see my family, and I'm a lot happier and a lot more comfortable, which is nice. Work experience, trying to talk through this as quickly as possible. This isn't the time frame. Funny enough, I went to this job way before I'd even signed up to come to Salford for second year, so it was quite coincidental, but I clearly wanted to come back into media from this contract. I went out to the USA. I got scouted by a camp who asked me to come out and be a web photographer. I got there, they asked me to be a media coordinator, so I led a team of 5 photographers and a videographer as well. There was a lot into this. It was obviously taking photos each day. There was 2 photos of each children, had to be took every single day, and there was about 500 kids at the camp, so it was a lot of photos per day, a lot of editing, a lot of getting used to Photoshop and After Effects as well. It could be anything from taking photos on the back of a jet ski, of them water skiing, as you can see in the photos here, or it could be on top of the high ropes, taking pictures of them doing the zip wires with the GoPros and everything like that. So it was very exciting. There was a lot of GDPR regulation stuff that I had to be careful with. I managed all the online systems so the parents could see the photos in a very discreet, confidential way. Yeah, I could talk for England about that, but it was very, very, very cool, and I love the USA, and I would go back in a heartbeat. I started a little slot on Six Towns Radio, presenting and producing, so I co-presented a few shows, learnt the desk, did some shadowing shifts, went down to a few of the events that they were doing, so they do live events across Stoke-on-Trent, and I am also just about to get a weekly show of my own, so I'm going to present and produce on there, so that was very cool, as well as Shock Radio as well. I joined 53 Degrees North Academy mentorship. I have an amazing mentor, Claire Brown. She is incredible. She gives me such a confidence boost, and we have regular check-ins. She has got me in touch with some incredible people across the industry, and it definitely has given me a boost that I needed, and she is an amazing little cheerleader. I'm going to touch on this really, really quickly. So Alton Towers Scarefest is an event. It is run as an entertainment operations. This is crucial in my direction now and where I'm going. It taught me everything. I started as a performer, then a host, and then a supervisor, and then an operations support assistant. So I do everything from public liability, all accessibility, all instant response, access routes, accessibility requests. I probably just mentioned that, but there is so much in this. You can read it in your own time if you like, but I did this over the Halloween, and as soon as that ended I went over to Lapland UK, again an event, but this was my first runner credit I've ever had. It was a huge production. It was run almost like a TV set. It was very hidden, and there was a split between in-world and outer world, so it was very film orientated. I didn't really even realise. It was all radio comms. I was training people on operation support, everything way past my pay grade as per usual, but it was good fun, and yeah, you can have a read if you want to know the ins and outs of the entire operation, but it was a very cool contract over Christmas. This is the big pinnacle, I guess, of my journey. So I've secured an amazing contract, but it is just out of the catchment of the work experience timeline. So I am going out to be a runner and a production assistant with Nest Productions down in Guildford in a couple of weeks, which is really exciting. It is a Netflix programme that's been filmed by a US company, and I am down for about 10 days on location, staying there the whole run. I'm very, very excited, and I am hopefully going to be working in the location, the welfare department, so working on the unit production work, and then also working with like contributor liaison and talent liaison as well while I'm down there. Phone calls and meets, as I mentioned, were a huge thing. Again, you can have a read through if you really want to. I made some amazing contacts, such as Charlie Marlowe. We are like best buds now, which is crazy to me. I've got amazing contacts at Morning Live now as well, and within the events industry and festival industry, because I'm booked up over summer, which is fab. And Johnny Shelton and Claire Newton within locations has skyrocketed my direction and confidence of where I'm going next. Networking events again with RTS, Creative Futures. I did a lot of webinars online as well. I went on to Belfast and did a networking event out there with the BBC, Open Music. And yeah, it's been very interesting. I mean, 53 Degrees North are great as well. I do a lot of panel talks with them. Standout success, I got my driving licence, of course. My first professional contract was booked with Nest Productions and Netflix. And I got 3 industry mentors, which is really cool. I've got production coordinator, which is Jade, over in Morning Live. And then I've got one in welfare, which is Claire Brown. And then one in locations, which is Claire Newton. I have got travel booked, which is incredible, and I've got some amazing contracts coming up over summer, which I'm very excited about, and I'm finding that balance, which is great, isn't it? My skills develop, so patience and resilience, it's just to keep going. No matter how much hardship you get and rejection, you just got to keep going. Ownership and practicality over my work, that was more in the balance. Ownership over my specific brand. My CV is a bit bonkers, and I do own that. And I want to try everything and anything, and that is my niche. Practicality, so I know sometimes now I have to be disciplined and not just take an opportunity because it allows me to get on a plane. I have to be strategic now and think, is this going to benefit my career? Is this also going to benefit my now position? And knowing when a contract is it's okay to say no to a contract. So industry awareness, again, is just totally skyrocketing from everything that I'm doing over here. And adaptability and transferability, every single skill. Everybody says that I'm multi-skilled and I've got good industry awareness, strong work ethic, I'm attentive, engaged, forward thinker. There could be downfalls as well, but everybody seems to like them, which is nice. Areas to improve: I am entry level but skilled. I find that I can't apply for apprenticeships and internships because I'm too skilled, but then I need graduate schemes to be able to get a job because I'm so entry level, and I'm really struggling to find that in between at the moment. So I've got no defined career end goal. Hopefully eventually I will, but at the minute I'm trying a little bit of everything, and sometimes people either love that or hate that, and I'm learning that. Freelance worry and self-doubt is definitely all kind of intertwining with that patience as well, but we are getting there. We are getting better. Briefly, career development. My CV is so bonkers, and I talked about that, like my 5-year plan that I did back in college clearly said I'm going to follow this step, and then I'm going to become a locations manager. It's just never that simple, is it? And that was what I learned from evaluating where my career is heading now. So my next steps, my next 3 SMART goals. So I want a location specialism. It is a downfall of mine that I don't have a career direction. So I want to have that, and I want it to look clear on my CV. So I want to get that Liverpool locations training. I want to attend a crew night event up in Liverpool and secure a location marshal job by the end of 2026, which at the minute is looking very, very hopeful, thanks to Claire and Johnny, which is brilliant. And I want to travel to 3 new countries. I've done 1. I've got 2 more now, so we'll see where I end up. I've got Rome planned for work in June, which again, really exciting. And medical development, so I want to get my FREC 4 qualification, which is an advanced first responder, so it'll just allow me to have more knowledge and be able to administer certain more medication as well and be better on a trauma response scene, which is very important for me. But yeah, I thank you for listening, and I hope you get everything you want out of this vlog and video. If you don't, I have got an hour-long video where I've talked about every single thing in this entire vlog, so you're more than welcome to watch that if you want me to go into depth about anything else. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.